Bro, so okay, I normally would not like fall like this stuff wouldn't fall into like the research docket, like the human dartboard. But you guys all familiar with like Rekieta Law, right?
I've been on his show. I feel it's horrible. It's like the
You've been on Rekieta Law?
Yeah, I was talking to him
You're
about.
a legend.
Okay, thank you. Not all at once. Sit down, everybody. But no, you asked me about like copyright and contractual shit in the VTuber world. So that's why I was there. But like the thing is, like you know him, and I remember him telling me that like, oh yeah, I love whiskey, especially bourbon. Bourbon's great. I drink a lot. Don't worry, I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I drink a ton. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then you see like flash forward a year, and it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, Rekieta Law is like one of the weirdest like. I don't want to say like fall from graces because I genuinely like feel really bad talking about it because it's like well not bad like I just feel like it's such a weird it's like instant like it's just like it's like hitting a wall almost, right? Like it just happens to you instantaneously. So Rekieta Law, for anybody that doesn't know, is a very, I would say, one of the largest law channels on the internet. Now LawTube is like one of these places where it's a bunch of lawyers who realize they can make a lot more money talking about the law on the internet versus dealing with legal shit in reality and all the crazy hurdles that come with it. So he got really popular about a year ago, basically covering the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and there were like
the Rittenhouse
I think was the other trial.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there was a third one. I'm not so sure, but he got really popular covering it. Like, he would watch the Law and Order stuff, and it was just like he would give his actual viewpoints as a lawyer. And from my understanding, he is a lawyer barred in like Minnesota. I don't know how long anymore, given recent shit that's come out. So for anybody that doesn't know, like a couple days ago, he ends up getting, I want to say, swatted. Well, arrested, but like the story is like somebody close to him ends up like filing in like a CPS complaint or some bullshit, and like cops end up coming to his house, and it's like they bust him on like I think it's 25 grams of drugs, firearms in the house, which even if they're legal, being around illegal drugs, firearms, I think you get charged federally for it. Caleb, you're probably gonna have to like correct me on that because you know more about the gun laws in the States than I do.
I don't know anything about drugs though.
Well, no, like what if you have like illegal drugs?
Oh, that's why we have Destiny. Perfect.
Yeah,
I know they compound. Yeah, let's combine our forces.
Yeah, I love drugs and guns. So when you fill out, every time you go to purchase a firearm in the United States of America, there's an ATF form you fill out called a 4473, and on that form you attest to never being addicted to or having done or maybe even possessing narcotics or whatever. I think that if you get arrested for any sort of drug-related thing, if there's like a gun in the vicinity, it's just like an extra in your ass, basically. They're like, oh, nope, can't have that. Like, you're on whatever. And I think that the gun charge is one of the three big ones that or it's one of the three that Nick is facing. That's not the big one. The big one is the 25 grams plus of either cocaine or whatever else. So, but anyway, yeah, drugs, guns do not mix, especially legally. Yeah.
Yeah, so he ends up facing up to 25 years in prison, which obviously he's not going to do all of it. I think he's already currently out on like bond or bail or whatever it is, which was set at like 50 grand, an insane amount almost.
Also, isn't he representing himself in court?
And his two friends too, yeah. Well, his wife and the other woman, yeah. Maybe not the best idea.
Why is representing yourself bad again? Like, hold on, somebody's got to fill me in on that. Like, if you're a lawyer, isn't it okay to represent yourself, or what's the whole rule on that?
I mean, I can professionally bullshit and guess. my guess would be probably because you want some level of separation for somebody making decisions about you, to have some kind of like dispassionate defense that's able to look at your case, give you a good breakdown of the facts, and then present them, in court. Whereas you might be a little bit more emotionally attached, you might be a little bit closer to it, so it might be harder for you to imagine how somebody else might interpret it. That'd be my guess. I don't know if there's another better actual reason.
I thought it was more like just a stigma. The judge won't treat you as favorably if you're.
Well, his judge apparently already hates him. He badmouthed the judge that is currently overseeing his case. So
because apparently has another defamation case against somebody, and the judge is over. Yeah, the same judge is looking over that case. He's kind of shit on stream before. So
yeah, it's not his situation is all like the worst possible things, like sort of converging into one just for him. Which look, I always feel bad for everybody in any of these situations. I don't know if he's done anything exceptionally terrible. The only thing that I think is terrible for him is like he has like kids in this situation, and like they're the ones that have like no choice in like what their dipshit parents do. So I really do hope like at least one of the if not both parents get their shit together, at least for their kids or whatever, just to make sure, all that is set aside. But I never I don't know much about his history in terms of controversy. He covered law stuff, but I don't know why there's a growing contingent of people on the internet that just absolutely despise this guy for whatever reason.
He is he's very, very, very I think aggressive and shit talky, and he just had maybe in demeanor I would say maybe similar to me, but even more aggressive. So the kind of person you love to hate if they're wrong on something or if they f something up. I there was a time where Nick Rekieta, a bunch of people for some stupid reason, I don't know if he said a slur or if he was against trans people or something happened, but a bunch of people online were like, oh, we can go and file complaints against him at the bar. And a bunch of people started filing complaints against him, I think in the Minnesota bar or whatever. And what they didn't realize was that when you file a complaint against somebody like that, the bar will make available all of the complainant's information to the person being complained about, including their name, address. And so Nick Rekieta decided to start publishing all of that information publicly. So that's the kind of person he is. Yeah. I understand why people if I did something crazy or I got arrested, there'd be a lot of people celebrating for the same reason. Yeah. I understand it. Yeah.
You would have had a manager or drugs. You could have
No, the starting YouTube late was a huge blunder for me. But hey, whatever. We all make our mistakes.
Yeah.
Who would we? Oh, Rekieta. Nick Rekieta is probably another example of that. If he had somebody more closely micromanaging all of his shit, you could be doing so much better. Yeah. But on your own,
his wife was his supplier instead. No.
Yeah, temptations and stuff are so much harder when you're because even if you work a 9 to 5, if you're gonna do drugs, that's a Friday Saturday thing. But when you're self-employed, drugs can be an on-the-job thing.
True.
Nobody's gonna get mad at me if I'm wasted while I'm streaming.
Hey, some of my best videos is me lighting a fat blunt before and then getting started. So hey.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah.